So this question is advanced 2019 question, and here force F has been given to be alpha by I cap plus twice alpha x j cap. And I know that this force is non-conservative force, so work done will not depend upon initial and final position of particle. So for each and every path, we have to calculate work done. So first see, when we are moving from A to B, when we are moving from A to B, this path is parallel to x-axis, which implies y should be some constant. And what is constant value of y? Y is 1. So this force for AB can be written as force will now be equal to, I'm saying y will be equal to 1, so I'm putting y is equal to 1 here. So this will be equal to alpha I k plus twice alpha x j k. Remember this x is not constant, x is continuously increasing. But now please see here, this alpha I cap is in direction of x-axis and twice alpha x is towards y direction. And our particle is moving in x direction and force is acting in y direction. So work done by this force will be 0. So only alpha I cap will be responsible for doing work. And now what will be work? Alpha is force acting towards plus x direction and displacement has been 1 unit. So alpha, this is force and displacement is 1. So work in this case will be equal to alpha. So during AB, we obtain work to be alpha. Now please see here, when we move along BC, I can say we are moving parallel to y-axis. So it implies x should be constant here. And what is constant value of x? X will be equal to 1. So now expression of force will be equal to, F will be equal to, instead of x, I am writing 1 here. Instead of x, I am writing 1 here. So F will become alpha y I cap plus twice alpha x is 1. So this is j cap. Now particle is moving in y direction. So only force in y direction should be responsible for doing work because this force is in x direction. Why? I cap represents x direction. So this force is acting in x direction and we are moving in y direction. So work done by this force will be 0 here. So I'm not considering this. I'm considering 2 alpha. So it is in j direction. 2 alpha force is in j direction and we are moving in minus j direction. And what is displacement? Displacement is 1 minus 0.5. That is minus 0.5 displacement is there. Obviously, work done is negative. So this is force and this is displacement. So twice alpha into 0.5 comes out to be alpha, of course, with negative sign. So this is work done in process B. Similarly, we are calculating when we are moving from C to D. When we are moving from C to D, of course, force can be written as F is equal to alpha y I cap plus twice alpha j cap. Now this path is parallel to x-axis, so y should be constant. And what is constant value of y? It is 0.5. So instead of y, I am writing 0.5. Right? So 0.5 means 1 by 2. And again, now we are moving in x direction. So all the forces which are in y direction will not be responsible for doing work. So this component or this force is not responsible for doing work. So whatever work is performed, it is performed by alpha by 2, which of course is in I direction, and we are moving in minus I direction. And what is displacement? Of course, displacement is 1 minus 0.5, that is 0.5 displacement is there, and force is alpha by 2. but angle between them is 180 degrees. So once again, it should be negative. So this is negative. Force is alpha by 2 and displacement is 1 by 2. So now it should be equal to minus alpha by 4. This is work done when we move from C to D. Now from D to E. I'm writing it here. Now we are moving from D to E. Once again, D to E, that is parallel to y axis, so x should be constant. And what is constant value of x? X is 0.5. So expression of force will become, I'm writing x is equal to 0.5 here. So this is 2 and this is 0.5. So this will be equal to alpha y I cap plus alpha j cap. Right? This is 2 and this x is 0.5. So this will be equal to 1. So alpha j cap. And now we are moving in y direction. So force in x direction will not be responsible for doing work. So only alpha j cap is responsible for doing work. Alpha j implies that force is acting in upward direction and we are moving in downward direction from D to E. So once again, work done is negative. So I'm writing minus. Then what is force? Force is alpha. And what is displacement? Displacement is 0.5. This is displacement 0.5. That is 1 by 2, right? So it comes out to be minus alpha by 2. So this is work done when we move from D to E. And once again from E to F. Okay, let me put it here. Okay. Now we are moving from E to F. Once again, F will be equal to alpha y I cap plus twice alpha x j. This is what, this is 4, sorry. And now I am moving along x axis, which implies y is 0 here. So y is 0 here, x axis means y is 0. And this force is acting in y direction. J implies force is acting in y direction and we are moving in x direction. So ultimately work done in this case will be equal to 0. And now last one, when we move from F to uh, F to A, right? So we are moving from F to A. So F to A. Force will be given by alpha y I cap plus twice alpha x j cap. Now we are moving along y axis. It implies value of x is 0. So x will be 0 here. And force, whatever force is left, it is acting in x direction and you are moving in y direction. So once again, work done in this case will be equal to 0. So for all the path we have calculated the work. Now we have to add it. So it should be equal to alpha minus alpha. This is alpha. This is minus alpha. And then we are having minus alpha by 4. Then minus alpha by 2. Then 0 plus 0. So this is total work done. So this gets cancelled. And it comes out to be minus 3 alpha by 4. Right. Now what is value of alpha? Value of alpha is minus 1. So if you put it here, minus 3 by 4 into minus 1, it comes out to be 3 by 4. That is 0.75 joules. So this is correct answer.